meet my bride. Let's go for a ride in my newfangled automobile. Just where we will go, nobody knows, but it's sure a great way to feel. Behind the wheel of the speed meter steel, it's my newfangled automobile.
Hello and welcome to Vintage Car History. I'm Wild Phil. We have already seen on this channel the unexpected variety of businesses that future greats of the automotive industry got their start in. Electrical engineers, locomotive designers, saw blade manufacturers, and even button makers have all tried their hand at making cars and enjoyed incredible success. But did anyone build legendary cars out of minestrone? Actually, yes. For in Italy, one of the greatest makes of cars was born from the making of canned soup. We are, of course, speaking of Vincenzo Lancia. Being the youngest son of a soup canner, it makes sense that he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. His family were minor nobles in Italy with a history going back to the 16th century. Vincenzo was born in 1881 at the family summer home in Fobello, not far from the city of Turin. As a child, he was quite industrious and curious, especially about all things mechanical. At the age of 14, he attended the Turin Technical College, where he studied accountancy. Shortly before he completed his studies, a new business began at the family winter home in Turin. A gentleman by the name of Giovanni Serrano rented out a two-room workshop that was located in the courtyard of the house, and young Vincenzo was enamored with the work being done there. Serrano was both an importer and manufacturer of bicycles, and the shop space not only warehoused bikes, but also built them. At the same time, Serrano started building cycle cars under the name Wellius. And so, with his new degree in hand, Lancia was hired by Serrano as his accountant in 1898. But Vincenzo was not really into the whole bean counting thing and focused his efforts on lathes, welders, and forges that were used in bike and cycle car manufacturing. And it did not take long for all involved to see just how good Lancia was with understanding mechanical processes. Much like young Porsche, Lancia proved to have an intuitive knack for analyzing a mechanical process and come up with a better and more reliable solution. By the ripe age of 18, he was already known in Turin as a keen mechanical mind that could make things work no matter what the issues. Though he was working in a bicycle shop, young Lancia was very much interested in the cars they were making. And as fate would have it, the company he was working for was purchased by a new local company known as Fiat in 1899. And like his former boss, Fiat quickly discovered just how talented Lancia was. Within mere months, he was promoted to the factory supervisor of manufacturing, but Vincenzo was just getting started. Fiat wanted to dive into car racing, and Lancia was given the responsibility to make it happen. He brought on some drivers he knew, such as Felice Nazzaro, Alessandro Cagno, and Luigi Storero. Then he started to drive himself as well, adding his own flair and style to the team. Lancia believed that in order to win races, both car and driver would need to be pushed to their limits, and the only way to discover those limits was to go beyond them. Lancia himself was a robust and active man, and he required his cars and drivers to go and be likewise, strong and fearless on the racetrack. At the ripe old age of 19, he entered his first race, the 1900 Grand Prix Padua-Treviso-Padua, which he won. He drove a 6-horsepower Fiat that was specifically modified for racing called the Corsa. Inline 2-cylinder engine, 3-speed transmission, and a very scary tiller steering, the car, in Lancia's opinion, was too light and not powerful enough for his taste, and over the next few years, he, along with another engineer, Aristide Faccioli, designed new, faster, and much more powerful Fiat cars with one purpose in mind: to win races. And win races they did, though much scrap metal was made in the process. After that first race in 1900, Lancia drove his Fiat car so hard that more often than not, he didn't finish the race. Rather, he left blown engines, stripped transmissions, and snapped axles in his wake. But Vincenzo would take the remains of the car, determine why it failed, and using his mechanical engineering know-how, redesign the cars to handle what both he and the road could dish out. By 1905, he won 19 races, and Fiat became a major player in the racing world. By 1906, Fiat was a huge company, and of course, big companies have their own bureaucracy. Vincenzo had wanted to start his own company and did so in the same year. Using his engineering knowledge and racing experience, he began to design and build cars that were among the fastest, most technologically advanced, and arguably the most beautiful cars ever to come out of Italy. The Lancia company still exists, and like the company founder, still makes fast, powerful cars that are full of attitude. We'll be getting into his cars in the future, but for now, just consider what the right man can do with cans of soup. Thanks for watching Vintage Car History, and we'll see you next week. Peace.